God gave rock and roll to you. He gave rock and roll to you. He gave rock and roll to everyone. Welcome back to the Black Bastard Video Podcast. It's your host, Max Road, the video hunting shark, rewinding those tapes, checking out those trailers, and getting rid of any videos we no longer want nor need, as well as commenting on classics. It being October, the season of the witch, I figured what better movie to throw on than a horror classic than Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. How is Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey a horror movie? Okay, hold on. Before I go on, I don't have a remote to this TV. This is a symphonic. I have a Magnavox, which I'm able to, I also don't have a remote to, but I'm able to glitch out the buttons and set the picture as I want it. It's currently set as I want it right now. It took me a while to get it to glitch out and to do that. There is no tutorial on YouTube anywhere on how to glitch your TV when you don't have a remote to set the settings to your standard. Now, this TV, as you can see, is glitched out right now. Channel setup, V-chip setup, language, caption off. If only I knew what button to push to go over to, I'm guessing, V-chip setup, whatever V-chip means. Eventually, I'm going to have to order a remote for this TV, such as I did have for my Panasonic. I got a universal remote for the Panasonic. That really threw me off. I wasn't even thinking about this TV and the shitty settings. I was thinking about a horror classic. Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. How is this a horror movie? Well, anything that involves going to hell is horrific. I was going to say, you know who should have gone to hell? Was Ernest P. Worrell, but the closest he got to hell was Ernest Scared Stupid, when hell came to him. Bill and Ted Goes to Hell was the original title. He's got a black and white striped shirt on. He or she, I don't know what that is. In a perfect world, they would have stuck with that title. But I don't think it would have. I think they would have pigeonholed themselves if they went with Goes to Hell. Bogus Journey was the better choice. But it sounded goofy. Like when you first heard Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, you're like, that's kind of corny. Had Wayne's World already come out? I feel Wayne's World is 1992, and this is 91. Beavis and Butthead weren't out yet. Bogus. What other word could they have used? Gnarly? Tubular? Do you think that Bill and Ted smoked weed? I mean, they were basically it seems like every 3 to 4 years, a new stoner duo comes out. But they're all trying to be Cheech and Chong, right? I mean, who's the first stoner duo? I would say Laura and Hardy. Yeah, Laura and Hardy. Even though they didn't, you never know. They looked all whacked out. They probably were on drugs. You got Laura and Hardy. Like the template, right? You got Amos and Andrew, or Amos and Andy. You have the Smothers Brothers. Abbott and Costello. Abbott and Costello is probably the absolute, like, comedy duo, right? Yeah, then you make a leap to Cheech and Chong. Who's after Cheech and Chong? Who took Cheech and Chong's spot? It's got to be Bill and Ted. And then Beavis and Butthead. And then Wayne and Garth. Or excuse me, Wayne and Garth, and then Beavis and Butthead. Who's after that? Feels like there's a huge gap. Oh, we got Dumb and Dumber. But no one really, like, their names don't roll off your tongue, you know. Lloyd Christmas and Harry, I think his name is. Lloyd and Harry, Craig and Smokey. Meth and Red. No one knows their name. We just know, I mean, come on, right now. What's the character's name from Pineapple Express? You don't know their names. You don't even know the actors' names. You have to think for a moment. You're like, you know. Who's the modern day? Like, who's the stoner duo of today? Rick and Morty? Anyhow, I don't know. All right, so we're going to do a commentary of Bill and Ted Goes to Hell. I'm going to be watching on Laserdisc. And I'm pressing play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'll have the volume turned down so as to not get copyright infringed. For those who don't have the Laserdisc, I'll tell you exactly when the actual movie appears. Right now I got the FBI warning. And we are not into the movie yet. I gotta do the Laserdisc. The image bumper for Laserdisc. Image Entertainment, Inc. The finest in laser video disc. A feature presentation. And we're in the movie, alright? Orion. Hey man, when you saw that Orion, this thing right here, that's it. You knew you were in for a treat. There's no way that this was gonna suck. That's what it felt like when you watch the Orion movies. I used to watch Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure so much, man. Like, that was a morning time flick for me back in the good old year of 1989, 88, 89, 90. It felt like the world of Bill and Ted was much smaller, contained, and manageable. Like, it was easy for kids to grasp hold of Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. It takes place in San Dimas. Yeah, they do jump around time, but this movie feels like they're more adult. I will say that. I mean, they're getting married. They have a car, they got a van, you know, like, if I was 12 years old, no, when did this come out? 91? By the time it aired, I was probably 12 years old. I couldn't relate to these guys anymore. They were growing up. All right, how did they predict the future? That's a question. How well did they predict the future? Well, the big, dumb moon boots, the clothing, back in the day, when you watch this, you're like, the clothing looks ridiculous. No one would ever dress like that. Hey, they got Google glasses on. Like, the future turned out to be true. Their future, their idea of the future turned out to be real. You know, the jargon that they're using, station, whatever the heck he just said. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. That's definitely how it is today. The way we speak, the things we talk about, would sound like aliens speaking if someone from the 90s was jettisoned into the future. Okay, I'm sure many of you have already seen this film, and you're not paying attention as I'm doing commentary for this movie. You're not paying attention to the movie. Like, you're glancing up every now and then. Like, yep, I remember the scene. Yep, I remember the scene. So you're, as we all are, we're always just looking for more and more. We can't just stay at where we're at. We can't just stay stagnant. We want more information. So you're on your phone looking at TikTok videos, and you're periodically also looking at me, and you can see on the screen that there's nothing new that you ain't already seen. So as I stated, I'm going to rewind tapes, check out trailers. On this TV right here, I'm going to have... This came in the mail today. I ordered this back in 1992, and it's just now getting here. It's the Nordic track. And I was just about to ask for my money back. This is a classic right here, man. 18 again. How old do you think this guy is today? In probably like 1989, 88, 88. He wasn't 18. He was probably like 20 something, right? He's 61 years old today. 61. He's still 20 years away from being 81. One of those switcheroo movies. When done right, they're great. When done wrong, they're also great. I haven't seen a switcheroo movie I ain't like. New World, New World, New World, New World. I have all my VHSs categorized by studio release. So whenever I'm looking for a tape, I just search the studio. And I think New World is way over there. All right, what's going on behind me is something that I was hesitant on buying because it just looks racist. It looks like a time when people were very racist, and that the cops would have got called on a black person for attending their beach. But I went ahead and put my biases to the side and went ahead and copped Euclid Beach 2. Gone Too Soon. Just mention Euclid Beach Park and you immediately conjure up memories of the Thriller, the flying turns, the racing coasters, and those great Euclid Beach popcorn balls and candy kisses. Come back with us again to the glorious 1950s and 1960s when you were young and the beach was the place to be. Is she supposed to be Tina Turner? Yeah, so I would consider Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey one of the greatest sequels ever made. Also, I consider this a... Something's wrong here. No. I would consider this a morning movie, a good morning movie, or a good afternoon movie. This is not a good night movie.
When you're fit, you look better and feel better. You perform better at work and have plenty of energy left over for family, friends, and leisure activities.
This is true.
Your whole life is more enjoyable, more productive, more fun.
Yeah, it's true.
More than ever, people are discovering
I want to give a special thanks to the people of Highland Hospital of Oakland, California.
I'm here to tell you about
I thought I'd never walk again. I thought it was over for me. Broke my leg in two places. The fib and the tib. Walk, I thought I'd never run again. I mean, I wasn't a runner in the first place. Sheer determination, will, perseverance, resilience, and a rage within me to not let anything hold me back. I am 100% again. I can actually run.
Like cross-country skiing, Nordic Track provides your cart.
Can't believe it, man. I mean, I can't believe it because I'm me. I should believe it. Shouldn't doubt myself. Shouldn't doubt my abilities.
Of all the aerobic exercises on the market, Nordic Track provides the smoothest, most accurate simulation of cross-country skiing available. Other less sophisticated cross-country exercises.
I haven't mapped or I haven't calculated how many miles I walk on Saturday and Sundays, but when I get out of work at 4 o'clock, I don't hop on the bus. I start walking. I do know it takes me about an hour and a half to almost 2 hours to get to my destination. It's actually not that physically demanding. It's mentally demanding. It's mentally demanding.
Upper body exercise that works in harmony with the leg exercises. Even Nordic Track's handsome laminated wood skis and solid.
All right, do you think they're drinking Miller Lite and Pepsi just to drink it, or you think it's product placement?
Make Nordic Track one of the quietest of all exercises.
Definitely product placement.
Nordic Track's patented flywheel and one-way clutch, patented arm exerciser, laminated wood skis, and solid oak frame. You simply won't find.
I can never do this.
Besides having a superior design, Nordic
What I mean, can never do this. I can't.
Let me demonstrate. First,
I like to get out, okay? I like to just be free. I cannot
the pad is at hip level.
exercise in a closed facility.
Setting that feels right to you.
Weightlifting, that's one thing.
Swinging your arm
But
pendulum.
to,
Add a smooth
like, I don't find it mentally fulfilling at all
just like walking.
to like ride stationary bikes and the like.
That's all there is to it. You're on your way to a safe, effective aerobic.
Woodpeckers, manowar, starfish, blowfish.
All right, are you watching Nordic Track or are you watching Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey? Come on, man, make up your
Point
mind.
is, I
I'm
know we
watching
promised you a better
at this
life.
time 1, 2, 3 things at once. I'm about
What
to
I
watch
mean
the
to
fourth
say
thing.
is, I realized when we took you out of England, we said the future held some really good stuff. And all those stuff
Why
hasn't
are rock
actually
stars
worked out
such
the way we
simps?
thought. It will
Why? There's no reason why a rock star should be a simp. You have nothing. You have no reason to simp. You're up on that stage. Your girls are attracted to you. Okay? They should be on their knees asking to marry you.
Will you marry us?
Theodore, I'd love
Like,
to.
that's what I'm saying. Like, they should be on their knees going, "Can I marry you?" That should be their question. And you go, I don't know. Let me think about it. Rockstar life or wife and kids? I used to not root for, how can I say this? Evil Bill and Ted used to tick me off. Now, I root for Evil Bill and Ted.
And that's why Nordic track is known as the world's best aerobic exercise. Now let's see the Nordic track models available. To precisely meet both your fitness and your budget, Nordic track offers 5 models from which to choose. The Elite, crafted of quality materials that give it a fine furniture appearance, is the top-of-the-line Nordic track model. It is fully equipped to let you precisely measure progress towards your fitness goals. Unique to the Elite is a hydraulically controlled elevation adjuster, which allows you to automatically raise and lower the front of the shoe and simulate level or uphill skiing. The lower elevations provide a natural resistance, while the higher elevations work the quadriceps more intensely. Calibrated resistance settings for both the upper body and lower body exercises allow you to measure and vary the resistance in pounds per kilogram. An electronic
When I watch this flick, I don't. It's kind of weird what I'm about to say, but I can smell 7-Eleven. I can just smell. I smell 7-Eleven, Taco Bell, Round Table Pizza. It jettisoned me right back in time to the early 90s, collecting baseball cards. Every now and then you might come up on a nudie mag. This movie is a complete time capsule. Hey, it's an old bag of Doritos. But for me, it's a time capsule of a 12-year-old me. You know, I wasn't 17, 18, 19, you know?
The Pro is Nordic Track's most popular model. The Pro comes with numbered upper body and lower body resistance settings, which make it easy for each user to set the machine to his or her level.
You know what I noticed as I grew up, when I was growing up, and then when I became a certain age, I wouldn't really watch movies. Like, say if I'm 19 years old, I really wasn't into movies that had other 19-year-olds in them. Like, when you're in your teenage state, you really don't gravitate to teenage imagery because you're currently living it.
However, the 303 Basic is made of less costly materials, and it offers fewer features. It's perfect for those who are on a strict budget, but aren't willing to settle for anything less.
You're constantly, as a teenager, you find yourself looking towards the future, towards how adults are and how badass it would be to be a 38-year-old man with a gun.
Finished with redwood stain, laminated wood ski, and a sturdy black steel frame. Nordic Track's 303 Basic provides the same superior work.
Hey, question.
Nordic Track model.
What do Bill and Ted do?
76. Hundreds of thousands of people of all ages have discovered
How are they affording that apartment?
Nordic Track. They found that Nordic Track is the one they'll use.
And shouldn't they be in high school by now?
And Nordic Track owners who also
Right.
have other exercises. For further Nordic
Or are they seniors and they weren't seniors last year? I don't know.
Nordic Track is the one they'll stay with. Research shows that Nordic Track owners who own it for more than 5 years still perform an average of 3 22-minute sessions per week. Use Nordic Track and stay with you because Nordic Track delivers the results they want.
Finally, I've been able to take weight off and keep it off with Nordic Track.
Nordic Track helps you maintain the stamina I need because in the business world, it really is survival.
Really big, but so is my family. With Nordic Track, I have time to both.
I'm not 30
You know, sometimes I just wish they would. How can I say this? Nobody would care except for 40-plus-year-olds. But if they just re-released product in a retro, like a retro re-release, I want to see Lay's chips in the original Lay's bag. I want to see Pepsi, and not just Pepsi cans, but Pepsi glass bottles. I might actually buy Pepsi if it came in a glass bottle. Doritos original.
Congratulations. You just joined the family of Nordic Track. People who enjoy the world's best cardiovascular exercise. It's a very large and small family.
Hey, that's right there. I don't ever want to find myself in that position. Some of you may know, some of you may not know what I'm talking about. You don't ever want to be in the back seat of a vehicle again. I don't ever want to be in a van, in the back of somebody's Econoline van. Whether metaphorically speaking or factual. You want to be the guy at the wheel. If you ain't the guy at the wheel, at least be in the passenger seat. But riding bitch is exactly what you are. A bitch. You have no control. See how he's like, I'm cold. No one cares.
When it's new, the tube may be stiff. Use both hands here on this part of the tube for greater leverage. Adjust the tube until you can see that the holes are lined up. It's still stiff, so I'll slightly turn the knob counterclockwise. Just a little loosening will allow easier movement. There they are. The holes are in line.
Alice Winter reminds me, excuse me. Oh, which one's Bill? Bill's Alice Winter, correct? Ted Theodore Logan is Keanu Reeves. This is the best split screen right here. This is amazing. We love you. What was I saying? Alice Winter looks like Rob Dyrdek.
on the Nordic track. The token would be directly below the pad.
Would you rather fall to your death or drown?
Place each foot into the toe.
Would you rather fall to your death,
Your body goes up
drown, get burned alive,
at hip level.
or trapped in a cave?
By turning the snout counterclockwise just a little. Slide it up
Fall to your death.
hip level. When it's
That's the best way to go.
tighten both mouths very snugly.
I mean, do you even have the time to think? If I could think, my only thought would be, please God, I hope I die. Don't let me survive this fall.
Always tighten the adjustment knob before using. Now let me show you the motion we use on the Nordic track. As you can see, the Nordic track is the most complete exercise available today. You work both arms and legs. Notice the long reach of my arms. I'm working not only my arms, but my shoulder and back muscles as well. You have two resistance settings on the Nordic track. This one for the arms is turned clockwise for greater resistance, counterclockwise for less. The arm resistance adjustment is the same on all Nordic tracks, but only the achiever and elite have the gauge that measure that resistance. On the achiever and elite, this is the leg resistance setting. This gauge measures that resistance. When you walk or run, your weight is on your feet. The same applies here. Your weight on your feet, not on the pad. Stand up straight.
Is it me, or does this look like Star Wars was filmed out here? Like, isn't this where the Jawas was, you know, where Obi-Wan Kenobi came walking out of the cuts? Now, I know Star Trek was filmed here, but
Now my weight is on the opposite.
yeah.
It's similar to walking, but much more beneficial because I'm working against resistance. You can work the arms alone, or just the legs. You may as well work the total body. You can go as slow or as quickly as you like. It's so flexible. You can work out as much or as little as you wish. The flywheel provides such a nice, smooth motion. You can glide from one stride to the next. It's really fun. It's quiet, so you can converse with others in the room or watch TV. Care to try it, Ed? I'd love to try it. Let's start with just the arms first. I'll set the leg resistance on a higher setting, so the ski won't slide backwards while you learn the arms. For the achiever and the lead, adjust the resistance knob only while skiing and never force the knob. Here, take the grip. Now you want to move your arms way forward, way back. Almost like a pencil. Almost straight as the elbow. Let me show you how the resistance is almost infinite.
In all sincerity,
Way up.
what's the better movie?
Okay, now we'll turn it way down.
What's the better movie?
Just experiment with the different tensions until you find the one that's right.
Bogus or excellent? Excellent or
Everyone in
bogus?
the family can set it to their own strength level. How's that resistance? Is that about right? That seems good. Okay, good. Let's put the grip on the clip and concentrate on just that. I'll set the leg resistance to the lowest setting. Now, hold on to the handlebars. Just a close against the back. Okay, now remember, you don't need to open the pad. Stand tall with your weight on your feet, just like when you walk. Take short steps. When your foot is forward, put all your weight on it and push it back. No, that's okay. You're doing this. You're pushing the shoe forward. Your weight on both feet. Try standing totally on just one feet, the one you're pushing back. When you ski cross country, you push the ski back, unweighted, and pull it forward.
I flipped on a chick like that, man. I've done that before. My failed attempt to hold on to. Excuse me. My failed attempt to hold on to my power in a relationship. Acting like a dick. And then when they're walking away, I'm just like, no, come back. You're not really going to leave me, are you? Let's trash this lame rat hole. This place is trashed.
Now you're skiing correctly. Your weight on your feet. Now that you're not white knuckled anymore, I think we're ready to try the arms and the legs together. Okay, let's stop for a second. Bring your right knee forward, the other back. Take the grip. Reach your left arm forward, your right one back. Good. Okay, now your arms are going to be in opposite position from your legs. You're going to pull the left arm and right leg back together. Okay, it's just like walking and swinging your arms. Okay? Good. And remember to stand up straight, like when you walk. Still coordinate. No, you're doing fine. It just takes a few minutes to learn, that's all. Most activities worth doing take a little time. Now, just one more point. The reason you feel uncoordinated is because you're pulling your left arm back with your left knee. It makes you wobble from side to side. Here, stop for just a second. So this hand, back together.
Isn't it wild that their natural instinct is telling them that they can do this?
Does that feel more balanced? Yes, it really is like
you know? They don't have a guide, what do you call it?
You may want to lean forward, like cross-country.
The Book of the Deceased.
But try that only after you've been on the machine for a while. Now, this
On how to
cross-country gears on the track in the snow.
possess someone, you know?
Variety of workout. Try it later on, just to vary the workout a bit. You're doing great, Ed. You really got the motion now. Care to try the incline? The pro, the and the elite.
What were they insinuating there with that little ding, 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 ding? Like his dad is a Grateful Dead fan?
I'd like to point out that you have all
It's amazing that this guy is pulling off Keanu Reeves' impression.
Hold on to the pad of the arm exercise. This will become unnecessary in order to actually use it. I'll set this to lead 7 degrees. Let me talk to those of you at home about this.
I had to resist getting a donut today.
Sure you're confident.
Had to. It was right there.
Ed, I think you're right. Let me give you a few pointers.
I did get a cup of coffee, however,
Even after you appreciate this,
which in about
slide backwards.
30 seconds time I'm going to go warm up.
Use the handlebar and ski with just your legs so you can keep moving comfortably. Then add the arm movement later. When we elevate the pole or it's best to first set the upright straight up. To do that, simply set the knees at the base.
I don't got Circle K out here. I got Chevron's Extra Mile.
Now I'll pull the pin and lift up the machine.
There was a young lady who didn't know how to use the coffee machine, and she asked me to help her. If I was a bit younger, I would have asked her for a number. I would have pushed it and probably gotten nothing out of it. But since I'm old and I'm a gentleman, I helped the young lady out. She spoke Spanish. I speak Spanish. Just a little bit, you know, just a little. Estoy tratando de aprender español. You know, I try. You know, I try to speak a little Spanish. So with the little bit of Spanish I knew, I was able to help this young lady, this young chica, get her some coffee.
Nordic craft uses to record weight, pulse rate, incline level, resistance level, distance, length, and speed of the workout. We hope you found this instruction helpful. If you should have any questions, call our customer service staff or well-trained nutritional on the phone while learning to use exercise. The number to call is 1-800-422-5431. Enjoy your Nordic craft and the healthier, happier lifestyle it provides.
Hey, what happened when Jason went to hell? What went on there? We never got to see Jason in hell. You know? That was more so Jason's bogus journey. Okay, I was so wrong about this Euclid Park. There's footage of all kind of black people at the park. Euclid was all inclusive, okay? Where do you get this notion that the people of Euclid Park were racist? Are you a mineral? Or are you a tank? You know what's the truth about that? The machine, whatever the heck this thing is, that they get sucked into, the bone crusher looking thing, it looks like a tank with the rivets and whatnot. Yeah, it looks like a tank right there, you know? Are you a mineral? Are you a tank? Alright, is that the devil? Or just a minion?
Oh yeah. How are we gonna get his attention? Son of the devil, dude. The devil, dude! Not here! No!
You know, I like Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, even though they're characters. And I'm sure Alice Winter and Keanu Reeves aren't this stupid. I am. So this movie really speaks to me. Hey, for a phony band, Wild Stallions is a good name.
Chair dancing is also a good program for people who have physical limitations. All you'll need to get started is a chair, a straight back chair without arms or steps. Be sure that when you are seated, your feet touch flat against the floor. Your goal is to use your abdominal muscles to support your back. But you may find a pillow position
What is that about?
for chair dancing. You'll
What?
also need 2 paper plates. We'll show you what they're used for later.
Is this how everyone enters hell?
Improve your muscle tone, flexibility,
On a big rock attached to a chain floating in
health benefits of aerobic exercise. You'll experience
a huge cavern?
energy, improved circulation, and reduction of stress. These benefits occur way you'll know you're getting the benefits of aerobic exercise is by monitoring your heart rate. To do that, place your index and middle fingers on the thumb side of your wrist and feel for your pulse. If you have trouble finding it here, you can also find your pulse at your carotid artery. Press it very gently. Let's check your pre-exercise heart rate. Get ready. Get set. Count. Stop. Now simply put a 0 on the end of your number. That's your heart rate. You should find it is between 60 and 100 within the normal pre-exercise range. During the gymnastic workout, your goal is to gradually raise your heart rate to the exercise rate recommended for your age. You're getting the benefits of a
Oh my God. You want to know what my hell is? Similar to this. My father, though he is not a not a general in the army or anything of the sort, but he was in Vietnam, and I had to by my own f ups in life, I had to move back to my father's house last year, and it was the most depressing time of my entire life. It was easily the most depressing time. I can't. I can. Let me try to think. I mean, the leg break was depressing. Leg break or live with your father. I didn't live with my father when I had a broken leg. Let me just tell you. So yeah, living with my father. All right, this man would come into the room that I would stay in. I guess before I moved there, that's where he would iron his clothes at. That's where the iron board was. So just like, no warning, just comes right in and starts ironing his clothes, standing over me, berating me about something I should have done throughout my life. So yeah, that would be hell, absolute hell. Another form of hell. Another one of my 7th layers of hell. Oh. Feel the front of your legs warming up. Hands on your hips, lift your heels and drop them down. Right on the feet. Swing your heels out and in. Sorry, I'm just. Use the hips opening slightly. Put your hands on your shoulders, lift your elbows, like you're flapping your wings. Keep your feet going. 8 more, just the same. Flap those arms proudly. Anything that, honestly, I think really anything that involves authority. Someone that I really can outsmart, I can outbox, telling me what to do, that's hell for me. Having some weenie, basically, control me is hell. There's times in your life where you'll get yourself in a situation where you kind of wonder what would happen if you just walked away. In the middle of this person talking to you, telling you something you don't want to hear, what if you just, I'm going to leave. Hey, where do you think you're going? I think I'm leaving. I think I'm walking out of the door right now. Far, far, far away from you. Being in a relationship with anyone, I'm not talking about a boyfriend, girlfriend. I mean a relationship, whether a workplace relationship, just anyone that you don't have to deal with in this world. I think that's why I operate the way I do throughout life. I don't listen to anyone I don't have to listen to. Like someone working at a retail establishment, trying to tell you something that you could have just, you don't know. Only because I speak English, I understand what you're saying. But I'm going to play make-believe like I don't speak English and not listen to anything you're trying to tell me. You are useless, you see? I look at this place as a huge vending machine. I don't talk to vending machines. I put my money in, I press a button, and the product comes out, and I go about my business. I don't need the vending machine to say, hello, how are you today? And if it did, I wouldn't answer it.
How about the breaststroke? Forward, push through the water. Forward, push through the water. Again. Last time. And the butterfly stroke. Arms back and overhead.
You know what's so strange is
Arms back and overhead.
the people in this video are dressed,
Rounding your back.
the same color schemes are here in Bill and Ted's
There's that large music again.
Bogus Journey.
March to the beat. And play the drums.
That's the thing about when you make a movie about the future. You usually just you're pulling from what's currently happening now. You're just exaggerating it.
Sit up on your piano bench and play the piano, using every joint of every finger. Get the good circulation moving through your hands.
I'm looking to see if there's a date on here. This is Kaiser Permanente presents Jody Stolov's chair dancing. Pull up a chair and get fit. What? Yes, way.
Sunshine in the air, a big, bright, beautiful sun. Reverse your arms and bring all that sunshine into yourself, giving yourself brightness and light. Grab your orchestra baton because we're going to conduct the orchestra. You know the words. Sing along.
I have so many board games just because I like the way they look, but I don't have friends or a family, so I'll never be able to play them. I'm a lonely loser. What can I say?
Good posture. Hands resting on your thighs. Look right and center. Look left and center. Focus your eyes. Twist your neck gently. Right and center. Left and center. Right
That's a 7.
shoulder and center. Left and center. Just to the side of the neck. Right and center. Left and center.
Hey, every Playboy that's out there playing
Yes. Say yes to fun exercise and
needs to have
say yes to
Twister on deck.
Nod no. Say no to negative thinking. Say no to inactivity. Nod maybe. Say maybe now is the time to do what I've always wanted. Schedule
Yo, he hey, he almost landed that.
Left into your chest. Ear right and center. Rolling right and around and left and center. Roll left and around and right and center. Bring your shoulders up to your
Okay, here's the thing.
lower and relax them.
Are there bodies out there rotting in the desert?
And down. Take a nice deep breath
Right?
and a good sigh.
Aren't there buzzards picking at their skull?
One last time. Shoulders
Or were they
up,
discovered and brought to a morgue?
down. Touch your shoulders. Shoulder rolls. Roll them front, up, pull them back. Roll them front, up, pull them back. Again, front, up to the back. Last time. And reverse them. Pull them back, up to the front. Roll them back, up to the front. Release all the tightness out of your shoulders. Stretch your left arm up and bend to the right, holding on to your chair. Change sides, curve over to the left, stretching and spinning your waistline. Sit up tall, open your arms side to side.
So I have my clothes in the dryer, and
Now wrap your arms around
as soon as side A
a
of
big hug.
Bogus Journey ends, I'm going to take a pause for the cause and get my clothes.
Give yourself another big hug. You deserve it. Open your arms side and give yourself one more nice hug.
I live in a fairly okay neighborhood. In fact, I live in a great neighborhood. Even though the other day someone got murdered. Rest in peace to the old guy who worked at the fitness center.
Now take a nice deep breath.
Some psychopath and his mother
Curve over gently round
chased him down
back. Relaxing the neck.
and blew him away.
Put one hand on each leg and walk your hands up your legs, pressing your abdominal muscles into the small of your
Wow.
back. Lengthen your spine.
It's just wild, you know?
Put your fingertips on your shoulders, reaching your arms out and in.
I'm
Out and in.
not going to speak ill of the dead.
And in.
I'm just going to say this.
Shoulders and feel the arm muscles working.
We have to learn how to talk to one another.
Now reaching out to the side and
You say the wrong thing,
out and
you say the right thing to the wrong person in the wrong way,
reaching out and in.
and they can't, you know,
Out to the front.
sometimes people don't take it so easy.
Out and in.
There's a lot of soft people with guns.
Reaching out to the side and in. To the front again. To the side. One each direction now. Take it to the front. To the side. To the front.
Would you work
and the
if you were in heaven? Would you want a job?
one last time. Arms
Or would you want to chill all day?
palms up, palms down and up. Feel the arm muscles working.
I mean, you have the option to just chill, smoke weed on a cloud all day, and drive a Cadillac 50 miles long,
Side, palms down.
or serve.
Like you're turning a doorknob.
I'd probably serve. That's how I am down here. I'd much rather be a server than
To the front again.
someone sitting back with a huge goblet.
Down and up.
More wine. No, I don't want to sit back like a fat ass.
Down and up.
No. I want to have purpose. I want to have something to do
Front
at all
again.
times. I don't go on vacation.
One
There's no days off for Max Road.